Good evening, Siouxland. Welcome to another night of fast feet, fierce tackles, and full-blown outlaw soccer live here from a hazy Bishop Heelan Memorial Field here in Sioux City. Tonight, your Siouxland United Outlaws face off against Joy AC. If you're not ready, you will be. Let's ride. Let's give it up to our club teams walking out with our teams playing tonight: UFA Academy Siouxland and Diablos FC. Give it up for them. Let's run through the starting lineups here really quickly as the teams go to their respective benches. In goal, number 66 for your Siouxland United Outlaws, Itsetsu Hirai. On defense, number 19, Jin Ichaka. Abdul Abdallah, number 3. Xavier Davidson, number 4. Chris Martial, number 12. In the midfield, you got Keohi Iguchi. Number 7, Yotaro Futrani. Number 23, Emilio Madrigal. And your captain, number 55, Yali Cohen. And up top for the Outlaws, we have number 18, Takumi Sato. And number 10, Joao Lutz. For the Joy Athletic Club starting 11, we will get to them just in a second. We have number 5, Bennett Kwame. Number 9, Carver Tierney. Number 7, Griffin Price. Number 50, Jesse Juarez. Number 53, John Duffner. Number 32, Mika Folstad. Number 4, Noah Kantorowitz. Number 45, Osman Cisse. Number 10, Philip Caputo. Number 21, Tommy Neisser. Number 11, Victor Hernandez Cano. Your substitutes for them are number 96, Abdulusam Akinla, Claudia Zhao, and Jacob Morlik. The coach of Joy Athletic Club is Arine Ezrique. And to circle back to the Outlaws tonight, we have on the sideline today, we have BJ Wiley, Long Vo, Giovanni Corral, and Anthony Galena. And the trainer on site today for your Siouxland United Outlaws is none other than the Bailey Clapper. We would also like to shout out a big thank you to our volunteers, event staff, game ops, and medium crew. Thank you for making every match day possible here at Bishop Heelan Memorial Stadium. Let's show some love to some partners who make Siouxland United more than a team. Remax Experience, our premier team partner. YMCA, the official gym provider. Thrive keeps us running strong. Perspective Insurance, always got our back. Schuster delivering wins. Campbell's Electric shocking the league. Shrunk Roofing covering Siouxland. Goal Kick Soccer supplying the gear. Adidas Stripes for Days. Rent Sucks housing legends. Plains Asset Management. Get Branded 360 and Reds Printing making us look good. Go Passage Easy Ticketing as the Outlaws go forward here on a direct ball. And a tough tackle starts the game. Could have been a card-worthy challenge there right away. But the ref decides against it, possibly with it being 20 seconds into the match. We'll get back to our sponsors here after the attack concludes. And out for a corner there for the Outlaws. And with me today, we have J.D. Amaro here, obviously joining us on the live stream. And my name is Alex Schuler again, back with you again for another year of Siouxland Outlaws soccer. So, J.D., you excited to be here tonight?
Always. It's great. It's great to be back here on the pitch, watch the boys play as we get a corner kick here right into the Joy's hands, goalkeeper hands.
Dangerous chances right out of the gate.
Absolutely. Something you're always excited to see here within the first 20 seconds of a football game.
There's definitely a little bit of haze in the air you can see tonight over the stadium. a hazy summer night here as the Outlaws recycle possession. Some controlled possession from the Outlaws, and that seems to be the way they're playing this year, just kind of building through the midfield, overloading the numbers in that area of the pitch and trying to break lines, getting their outside backs really high here as the ball just out of touch. So kind of looking at the standings here early on, you know, this is, even though it's only the third game of the year, I believe it's a big night for the Outlaws, obviously trying to get their first points of the season. With 2 narrow losses on the road to kick off the year, obviously the coaching staff and the whole organization will be looking to have a day with a result, you could say, with the captain, Yali Cohen, there at the base of the midfield. Joy Athletic Club, a little bit loose of a pass there, and the Outlaws seem to be regaining possession here very quickly, JD.
Absolutely, Alex. A lot of back and forth here in the midfield, like you said earlier, as Outlaws try to break lines here.
While we have a break here, just in some possession, we'll go back to some of our sponsors that we need to give some shout-outs to. So, JD, go ahead.
We would like to thank Quality IT, our digital defenders, Mike Murphy, our own team lawyer, Wells Blue Bunny, Victory never tasted so sweet, La Juanita's, tacos with a bite, delicious sponsor, Fibercom, for our Connection Kings, Fibercom, Stoneleigh Creek Hill, the Outlaw HQ, Chessmasters and Powerade, our hydration squad, Ho Chunk Capital, investing in the future, iHeartMedia, the Outlaw Hype Squad, Specialized Concrete, which are solid support, Rad LLC Investment Brains, Savvy Retirement and Investment Guidance.
Ball goes long here. Outlaws gather possession. Looks like they're trying to build quickly off those direct balls and then the knockdowns today. Still some possession. So, JD, go ahead and wrap up those initial sponsors tonight.
We'd like to thank Reside Properties, Real Estate with Heart, Verde Outdoors, Signs That Shout, Great Western Rentals, Tools of the Trade, La Piedra del Mal, Football and Food. We also like to thank Big Picture Entertainment, The Screen Giants, and Aiden Alvarado and host families, our home away from home. We also like to thank Hamilton Car Wash, keeping our ride spotless as the Outlaws gain possession. Quick little short
and as
pass
we get
here.
into the summer months, JD, really need to keep the car spotless with
Absolutely.
thunderstorms and all that fun stuff coming in. But the Outlaws looking to build here again through Christopher Marshall here, number 12, finds Cohen. The Outlaws are really dominating possession right now. It'll be interesting to see if they can get some more chances off this. A battle up top there, some physical play, and a foul there on the Outlaws. Number 10, Joao Lutz. Probably the right call, JD, but obviously we don't like that call going against the Outlaws.
We don't like that call from up here, but, you know, we're not on the field, Alex.
Yes, I am a certified ref, though, so I feel like I can...
It balances out.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Kind of a dangerous chance there from Joy Athletic Club.
Pretty dangerous.
Trying to catch goalkeeper Itsu Hirai off his line, as he's really looking to get involved in the attack here, obviously, as a goalkeeper.
Did you try under candy? Yeah, we tried under candy. Okay, give me just a second.
Sorry about that. A little technical difficulties there as the Outlaws still building. Cohen looking to drive forward here. Cohen's been able to find the ball a lot here in the early going. And the ball just out of touch, though. Man in the center tonight as the center official is Mr. Ray Shirley. And then obviously a busy night around the league tonight as 3 matches going on, and all 6 teams are on the field tonight, as we had a 5 p.m. kickoff with Sioux Falls Thunder hosting the Minnesota Blizzard. Last check, it was 2-1 Sioux Falls in the 84th minute. A result that could potentially open things up for the Outlaws if they can find a way to get some points today. And then going on at the same time as this match is Duluth versus the Iowa Demon Hawks, and 2 teams that have had fast starts to the season. The Demon Hawks are going through their first season, something similar to Siouxland United experiencing last year, and the direct ball forward there from the midfield as we got Yotaro there with the big diagonal, trying to maximize every possible yard here at Bishop Heelan Memorial Stadium, right, JD?
Absolutely. A lot of midfield traffic here, Alex, as you said. There doesn't seem to be much of a change in strategy, although we are breaking line. It's just not quite as cleanly as you would like.
Yeah, it's one of those situations you wonder, are the Outlaws waiting for Joy to step out, leave that gap, and then hopefully get in those half spaces and penetrate quickly, obviously, to get forward, as there's the big diagonal ball, looks like going up towards Joao. Joao might have a chance, and calmly headed back there by Joy Athletic Club's center back.
Joy Athletic, a little bit of back and forth here as we get up here to the top of the field. Short wayward passes here, really getting past the Outlaws' defense. A lot quicker than you would like to see, Alex.
Definitely. But it seems like the Outlaws are comfortable to, play that high line. Obviously, let their keeper come off his line and kind of gather stuff in that fashion, which,
absolutely,
I think does suit them with the recruitment this year. Obviously, there's been some changes within the staff this year, so it's, with that always comes some changes to the squad, changes to how the team plays as well, and, it's been interesting with a lot of new faces, but we're really excited for the future of Siouxland United Outlaws soccer. There's a little dinked ball forward. He is onside. But then Joy has to let it run out of touch there. It'll be a kick for the Outlaws. Bennett Kwame for Joy had to let that run because he would have been offsides, and it looks like Joy is
really applying pressure here.
Setting up it looks to me like these formations are very similar right now with, I believe, both teams playing 4-4-2 diamonds, it appears. Seem to be canceling each other out, and he is on there.
Oh, is he offsides, though?
Can we get it across? Joao Lutz? Oh, just outside there. And that was the moment we were talking about, JD,
exactly,
with the Outlaws breaking lines, shooting those players forward through midfield, and obviously looking to get on the end of the chance. It was a beautifully worked move. They timed it close. They looked like it was close to offsides, but he did look just in line.
Exactly. I mean, you could not ask for a more perfect play. The only thing that would make it any better would be that for the ball in the back of the net there. I mean, breaking through the lines beautifully, beautiful passes, right on mark. And like you said, I mean, just barely on sides there for the Outlaws.
But the Outlaws do look up for it in their first home game here.
Exactly.
There's a great defensive tackle there by the strong defender for Joe. And Lutz is in again. Ball squirts free. Oh, and just off Emilio Madrigal following that up in the center of the goal. And Lutz is really getting behind them here, though, huh, JD?
Absolutely. I would imagine Joy FC right now is really looking at Lutz. I mean, getting that close this quickly in what is essentially less than 30 seconds, I mean, there's got to be all eyes on him now for sure.
Definitely.
Short little wayward pass here for Joy.
Yeah, but I would say here early as Emilio grabs the ball again, and the Outlaws are winning possession back very quickly, which is a great sign. They're a team that, I've talked to the staff a few times, that wants to dominate the ball, wants to dominate possession, wants to dictate that tempo, and when you can win the ball back so quickly, they're going to be able to do that tonight.
Exactly, Alex. I couldn't agree with you more. Something you'd love to see here with just over 11 minutes into the game. You'd love to see them. The only thing you'd love to see than a better tactic is to collect a tactic quickly, implement that tactic effectively and very quickly early here in the game.
Definitely. There's some good play from Joy Athletic Club as switch the point of attack, and I think that's going to be a key with so many people centralized in the midfield here today, JD. It's going to be which team can break those lines, switch the point of attack quicker.
Keeping each other on their toes.
Yep. Another exciting thing about today is we will have a couple special guests on today. Later in the first half, General Manager Jesse Castillo will be joining us, probably here in a few minutes.
Don't want to miss that, folks.
We do not want to miss that. One of the main guys here with Siouxland United and the Outlaws, and being a Siouxland guy, he can talk a little bit about his vision for the team and the program, obviously. And then the second half, we have a Siouxland coaching legend joining us, Tom Maxon, the head men's and women's soccer coach from Morningside College here in Sioux City for a few minutes as well. So we'll get both of those guys on here sometime later in the game. So stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Nice little switch of play there is Kwame. Kind of a loose pass. Emilio Madrigal stepping up, high press a little bit. Good composure there from Joy Athletic Club.
Absolutely. You could tell it was a little bit of stress there, but, he handled it beautifully.
And it looks like the Joy Athletic technical staff obviously trying to get some instructions across, and what a touch there from acting head coach B.J. Wiley tonight.
Somebody get this man in a jersey.
Yeah, he's probably has some eligibility left at this level, right, JD?
Absolutely. Go out with a bang here as the Outlaws once again pressing pretty high up here in the pitch.
Marshall with the big switch as Lutz is in again.
Lutz.
Can he have a hit? Got to get off his foot. It just seems like the Outlaws are a touch or a pass away a couple times already tonight, which is, like we said, a good sign. But when you're on top in a match like this, you do have to take your chances.
Equally wonderful as it is frustrating, Alex. It's like
Yes.
when you're just one hit away from a goal. Nothing better you want to see. It's better than being six steps away from a goal. But, just get that last touch in as we find ourselves back here in Outlaw territory. Just rolls out.
Yeah, got away with one there, I believe, because line was a bit stretched, obviously.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, that would have been far more dangerous had Joy been able to collect their...
Yeah, it looked like number 4, Xavier Davidson, did hold on held the goats on side. About 15 minutes in, 0-0 score still here. And, even though the Outlaws have started out with 2 losses this year, if anyone's been tuning into those games, and obviously staying in touch with the team is obviously something where, they've been competitive in both those games, JD. It came down to a couple moments here or there. They've been able to play their way. But at the end of the day, it is about results. So, and that's where you got to find that in product sometimes, right?
Exactly. That's like you said earlier today. A lot of these guys are new. It's a whole new team, and they got to figure out some strategy. So I think it's fair to say that they were kind of figuring it out those first 2 games, because as we've seen, especially in this game here, a lot of action, a lot of good combos here in the midfield, and some pretty close shots on goal here. So I think it's unfortunate that we have 2 losses already, but the team chemistry is coming in fast.
Yeah, you definitely hope it's something coming home. They get the results you need on your home field, and then obviously kind of reset for the rest of the year as we move forward. So, and I think that's been part of it too. Is a lot of the team has been new. There's been obviously some new faces, new style of play coming in, but obviously that takes some time to establish. Obviously. So it looks like Joy Athletic Club here pushing a little bit higher. The Outlaws sitting in a compact shape here.
Joy coming back, trying to reset some momentum with a couple of short wayward passes. Big diagonal
Big
here.
Switch. Big switch there. Very well dealt with, I must say, at the back post there by Christopher Martial.
Absolutely. Beautiful header. We would like to see it kept in, but you take what you got.
So we got a corner kick here for Joy Athletic Club.
Which means the return of the one and only corner kick sponsors. Thank you to Remax Experience, our premier team partner, the YMCA, our official gym provider, Thrive for keeping us running strong, Perspective Insurance, who's always got our back, Campbell's Electric, shocking the league, and Adidas, Stripes for Days.
Great defensive clearance there.
Joy FC.
Looks pretty crowded here on that near side, so interesting what Joy does is they played it into their number 9. Nice little flick off.
Absolutely. Had me confused there for a couple set moments.
Can the Outlaws break in these moments, though? Trying to drive down this right side, but no one to play forward to, so the Outlaws will just recycle it here through Futurani and through Xavier Davidson, and the goalkeeper goes long.
Joy FC really putting the pressure on our goalkeeper tonight. Every opportunity they can, there's.
Yeah, the thing Siouxland's got to be careful of in those moments where the space is compact, obviously playing out of the pressure. If you get caught in those moments, obviously that's a dangerous situation with, you know, a team countering on you when you're in that attacking shape. But you got to love the confidence so far. Siouxland has been able to dictate the tempo, and that's definitely what you want to see.
Absolutely, something you need to see in a game like tonight here at Bishop Hill Memorial Field. 81 degrees outside, a little hazy as we mentioned earlier. 27 degrees Celsius for those of you who didn't celebrate Memorial Weekend. Beautiful short pass here, won by Joy as it goes right out of the pitch.
And the Outlaws have a throw here on the near side, getting some instructions from the coaching staff here before we put the ball back in play. And a little bit overplayed there in the center, but a great reaction by Keohi. Lutz with the great play there to hold off his defender, but touch goes awry, and Outlaws will look to switch it quick, and the ball's on here. There's an attack on if they can use this, but an unfortunate touch there, and then a bit of an out-of-control step unfortunately led him into the foul right there.
Nope, no, we're not disputing that one.
Yep.
Great call by the ref.
Yeah, ref was in a really good position there, obviously,
to
see the afters after the ball had gone.
Precisely here as Joy gets ready to set up here. Switching the point of attack here for Joy FC. Taking the time, Outlaws putting a little pressure. So Joy looks to recycle, gets it forward. Ooh, beautiful spin there by the as Joy already in the Outlaws half. Beautiful pass forward here, defender right back in. Dangerously close here. Thankfully, Outlaws defense able to catch up here, forcing them to kind of take a couple steps back.
Yeah, the Outlaws did have some great recovery runs there to get compact, but
absolutely
now they have to be organized.
And it looks like we might be here as we just get it out right into the Joys.
Elsewhere around the MPSL North Conference today, we got our first score update from the other game in progress. We have Duluth FC hosting the Iowa Demon Hawks. About the same time it is there, it is here, about the 17th minute there. And the score is 0-0 currently in that match as well. When you look at the table, obviously it's kind of a unique picture right now because you got some teams that played 4 of their 10 matches, some have played 2, and a couple have played 3. Currently right now on first place is Duluth FC with 6 points from 2 matches played. Then you have this Joy Athletic Club team as a foul on Joy. Called right there. You have Joy Athletic and the Iowa Demon Hawks both with 2 wins and a loss on 6 points. Minnesota Blizzard have gone 1-1 through 2 matches, so they're on 3 points, and Sioux Falls Thunder has 3 points through 4 matches. Siouxland United, like we said before, has 2 matches, 0 points, but you know, obviously there's still some time to get back in the thick of things. You know, it's Siouxland does have the games in hand on the teams above them, which obviously gives them that opportunity, JD, to push forward.
Speaking of pushing forward here, Outlaws right into the Joy as Joy recovers.
It does seem like the initial momentum, probably the first 12 to 15 minutes, you would say JD has kind of worn off.
I would agree with you there, Alex. It seems like Joy is starting to collect a little bit of that lost momentum here. As a lot of back and forth in the midfield. Joy really deciding which angle they want to go with. Outlaws seeming to adapt pretty well and apply even pressure.
As Bennett Kwame dribbling down the corner here is great ball there from goalkeeper Itziu Hira. Going long again to break the lines, and Siouxland does have some numbers up front. Now let's see if Siouxland can push a little bit higher and gain some of that territory back here. Great ball out from their goalkeeper.
Beautiful wayward pass. A lot of traffic up here in the top of the midfield. Beautiful diagonal. Looks like it's going right to the Outlaws, and it is.
Oh,
Is that
tough,
a handball
tough
call?
clearance to deal with, but did strike the hand after he tried to clear that ball out. After Martial tried to clear it out there from his right back spot.
Definitely a position you don't want to see the Joy FC right now in, Alex. Definitely an opportunity on their hands.
Yeah, definitely a dangerous situation. You'll see how the Outlaws hopefully can deal with this. Number 10, Philip Caputo over this. Blasted into the wall, and Caputo has had a great start to his NPSL season so far as well, being one of the main guys here for Joy Athletic Club.
Absolutely. Caputo blasted to the wall, got the recovery, and just sent it way too far to the right there. Outlaws starting from the back.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see how Joy Athletic Clubs deals with this. They did play their last match actually 24 hours ago against the Sioux Falls Thunder, which was a 4-2 win. But, you know, if you can see on the pictures here, they did only travel 14 players for this trip, so only a few subs on the bench. So as the game goes on, you wonder if fatigue will affect them. As Caputo on the ball here in the center. Great defending there by the Outlaws, and we have ourselves a corner kick, JD.
Absolutely. Remains a quick return to response. Thank you to Mike Murphy, our team Laura, Wells Blue Bunny, Victory, Never Tasted So Sweet, La Juanita's Tacos with a Bite, and FiberCon, our Connection Kings, for sponsoring the Outlaws this season.
Outlaws deal with the corner well.
Absolutely here. A little bit of back and forth once again.
Great clearance there.
Outlaws looking to... Outlaws quick changing the angle of attack here.
And we have the first of our guests joining us tonight is General Manager of Siouxland United Outlaws, Jesse Castillo. Jesse, how's it going today?
Well, it's going really, really well. You know, just kind of paying attention to the game a little bit. We've had a couple of good chances, you know, that we kind of need to put away. But we'll see how the night goes. It looks it's a beautiful night out there, and we're excited. We see quite a bit of fans out here.
Oh, yeah. It does look like a good crowd for you guys tonight, and that's always a good thing in the first home game. What makes this venue so good for Siouxland United and the Siouxland community to use the Memorial Field here?
Well, Memorial Field is centrally located. It's probably in the middle of the city. There's a Hamilton is a boulevard there's a lot of traffic, a lot of businesses. So it's right in the middle. It's probably the best location for any type of event, you know, where the field is needed. So we're very thankful to Heelan High School and for the parish for giving us the opportunity.
I have to interrupt you here, Jesse. Is Lutz? Ooh, thought that went in the net. You must have been the good luck charm.
Yeah.
You would have had to stay up here the whole game if we scored when you were up here talking to me.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity there. I thought for a moment he was gonna make that cross to the 6 because we had a player coming in. Sato, I think, was the player coming in for that. But
definitely,
yeah, we've had some opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. What excites you about this season on the field and off the field? I know, obviously, first year you're kind of learning stuff, you know, learning the ropes of the conference, learning how everything just goes. What are you excited about?
Well, we're very familiar now. We're more familiar with the conference. It's a very tough conference. You got Duluth in there. Joy has been playing pretty well. So it's going to be all about the points. And this season, I'm just excited. We're technically there. We have a new coach who's been doing a great job. He's a leader of men, and so we'll just see. We just got to get those 3 points and build from that. So we are in our second go around. Everything has been easier when we have Adam Dean on our team. He's the guy behind everything that does all the work, the technology, and makes a lot of things possible.
Yep. Probably
us.
one of your most used contacts in your phone these days, right?
For sure. He's
Have
he
him
knows
on
quite a
speed
bit.
dial.
Yeah, he finds a way, and kind of does a little bit of everything. So he does a great job. We're grateful.
Awesome. So last question for you, and then I'll let you get back to enjoying the game instead of sitting up here with me. But like I said, if the goal went in, I would have made you sit up here longer. What about this team represents Siouxland really well, you feel? Like you're a Siouxland guy. How's that connection?
Yeah, it's these guys have bought in, and they work very, very hard. We like to pride ourselves here in Siouxland that we have a very hardworking class. And it's a very diverse, people show up to work, people work hard, and it has made this community very successful. So we talked to the team last night about how important it is, for us to know who we're playing for in front of who. And I think Siouxland really deserves, for something, an event like this.
For sure. It's definitely a cool atmosphere. And like you said, the stands are pretty full tonight, and that's what you guys up here in the press box love to see, right?
Yeah, for sure. We hope that we hope that we can build from this. It's a good crowd, and families is really what we're targeting for. So
for sure,
it's awesome.
For sure. Awesome, Jesse. Well, I'll let you get back to it, my man, and thanks for the time today. And I'm sure we'll get you on another broadcast later this year, hopefully.
Alex, thank you so much. JD, thank you guys. You guys do an awesome job for us. Okay. You guys do great, so thank you for your time and everything that you guys do, boys.
No problem. Thank you. And as I said, that was Jesse Castillo, our general manager of Siouxland United Outlaws, and now he gets to do the fun part and go enjoy the game outside with the fans. And then during that conversation, obviously a couple... No. Yeah, a bit back and forth, but looks like Jesse was a bit of a good luck charm, obviously, with us gaining some momentum when he was back on the call. I think, JD, you might be replaced.
All right, let's slow down there, Alex.
Hey, we love having you up in the box here, too.
It's a joy to be here.
For sure, for sure. But no, it was great to get General Manager Jesse Castillo on. Jesse is a Siouxland guy, loves everything about this area, and I know he's really excited about the vision, and the team is step up there by number 12, Martial.
Absolutely, folks. I honestly could not think of a better person to be the GM of a team like this. Told you, folks, you wouldn't want to miss that one. Here, as the Outlaws breaking through the
Lutz
defense
is
here.
through. Can he put this one away?
And
it's a goal off the goalkeeper, and Siouxland United Outlaws break the deadlock. Massive to start the game with the first goal here tonight, JD. Would
Alex,
you agree?
Maybe you're right, Alex. Maybe Jesse should be up here more often. Seem to be a good luck charm here.
Hey, that's why he's the general manager, my friend. So
he's the general manager.
Goal scored there at the 30th minute by Joao Lutz.
I'm trying to get it to you right now, actually.
Off of a little bit of a broken play. Good effort there by Madrigal in the center of the field. Madrigal currently is going to be playing his college soccer at Bradley University, a D1 university in Illinois, after playing 2 years at Heartland Community College. And Joao Lutz will be attending Monroe University in the fall and was also another JUCO product at Lewis and Clark Community College. So JUCO connection there. Myself as a JUCO coach love seeing that.
I can hear the pride in your voice, Alex.
As Joy's looking to change the momentum quickly with a slick passing move here from the center, and that's a ball just runs out of touch, and the AR is on top of it.
Absolutely.
And like I said before, now comes really the interesting situation because Joy only has those 3 subs. This is on the end of a back-to-back for them as well. So yeah, it's definitely
Gonna be a
Goals
tiring-
change games, JD, and we're going to see how it changes the game right now, right?
Absolutely. Gonna watch the shift the momentum, like you said, Alex. I mean, shift the momentum from a goal, and then on top of that, I mean, I imagine only having 3 subs, your team's going to try to be conserving energy here for the rest of the match as the Outlaws look to reset and recycle here.
Definitely. Takumi driving forward. Takumi Sato, 4 versus 4 if they can break here. And the touch just a bit light. Just couldn't find Yotaro on the right side there. That looked like another dangerous opportunity
That
for the
looked
Outlaws,
like a
JD.
beautiful opportunity for the Outlaws. You know, had that touch just been a little bit better.
Yeah, and as we said before when we were talking with Jesse, great crowd tonight. Beautiful early summer night here at Bishop Elam Memorial Stadium.
Something you love to see here. Not only as a soccer fan, just as a person in general. I mean, as the ball rolls out of play.
Outlaws won a corner, so you know what time that is, JD?
Time for our thanks to our sponsors. Specialized Concrete, our solid support, iHeartMedia, our Outlaw Hype Squad, Ho Chunk Capital, investing in the future, Savvy, retirement and investment guidance, Reside Properties, real estate with heart, Verde Outdoors.
Looks like
signs
Jin
that shout.
Ichawa will take this, former player at Iowa Western Community College.
Thank you to Great Western Rentals, tools of the trade for this corner kick.
Great ball in there. Oh, and the Outlaws were just a touch away from making it 2, I believe.
That was, once again, just dangerous opportunities here. Outlaws seeming to really build off that momentum from the goal here. You know, you love to see it, Alex. I mean, earlier in the game, he had that first really close shot on goal there. Then not even 30 seconds later, I mean, another one that was pretty close. And now he's looking to keep that momentum here as
Abdul with the clearance there on the long ball.
Outlaws back here in the...
Yeah, and even more so, yes, they say the first goal is important, but really in a game, the second goal is super important as well, obviously, because, you know, in a 2-goal game, it's either 1-1 or 2-0. So, you know, you look
Exactly.
for the Outlaws to keep pushing here in this scenario.
And I just imagine the boost in morale from that second goal, you know?
Great
I mean,
run there from Yotaro. Double team, though, and the Goats do well here.
A lot
Kind of muscling him off the ball, but
lot
ball
of-
goes out of touch. You know, it's good reactions again from the Outlaws. You know, they're chasing it down, obviously. Every chance they get to win the ball back quickly, they're trying to do it.
Absolutely. Once again, it's building off that momentum. And you love to see it. You know, you want to keep that momentum alive as long as you can if you're an Outlaw. Ooh, dangerous. Close there, but unfortunately, Joey was right on it.
Yes, so many fans here tonight, JD. The overflow section almost got hit with the ball.
In the splash zone.
Exactly.
And once again, as we reset, same spot here for the Outlaws.
As Jin is on the throw again. Looks like they'll go long here, trying to create
Different opportunity.
another dangerous opportunity off what is effectively a set piece.
Beautiful pass there. Up. No one was there to collect it here as the Outlaws looking to push back a little bit, reset. Nice little short wayward pass.
Finds Jin again. Can you
Jin.
do something with it? No penalty there.
No penalty there. That's quite.
From our vantage point, what did you think of that one, JD?
I'm not. You know, once again, I'm not on the field, but even I could see that should have been a call there, and I think the Outlaws fan base would agree with me there.
And if you can hear that on the live stream, General Manager Jesse Castillo trying to get the crowd riled up to keep this momentum going.
I think it's working.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those. You can definitely see why the crowd here kind of voiced their opinions after what was a possible clip in the box. And
Exactly. But
you just hope the Outlaws have a good reaction. Unfortunate giveaway there. The Goats are flying forward. Quick counterattack. The Outlaws get compact, and a great tackle by Abdallah there.
Ooh.
Abdallah is actually going to be playing his fall soccer at Northeast Community College, the NJCAA D2 defending national champs. Northeast will actually be playing in Sioux City this year in a conference game versus Western Iowa Tech Community College as well, so he'll be back there. So Abdallah might get a little bit used to being in Sioux City between the Summer League play and obviously the conference he's in, right, JD?
Absolutely. You know, not a bad place to be in, folks, here as he sets up. Joy FC looking to put a lot of men in the middle. Alex, if you're a coach right now, what are you kind of hoping to see from the Joy to kind of see a shift of momentum? And then what are you kind of hoping to see from the Outlaws to kind of keep this lead going?
I think the biggest thing is just momentum and keeping up the tempo. Like I said, Joy has a really thin bench tonight. So it's obviously something where, they, you really want to push the tempo and test that depth, right? Because obviously you got, a thinner bench on the visiting side. And, you have that lead. Obviously, when you have the lead, you can dictate tempo, dictate how you play. It's just, can they keep it up? Can they keep those chances? And since they've gone ahead, I do feel like the Outlaws have had 2 or 3 dangerous chances, which is important.
I would absolutely agree with you there on those dangerous chances. I mean, here in the 37th minute of the game, as Joy FC cutting through a lot of the Outlaws defenders there, but a little bit of back and forth. As the Joy FC here able to recollect here out on the left side. Nice little tap out of bounds there by the Outlaws. Really able to kill the momentum. Oh, dangerous opportunity here, Alex.
What a save
What a
there.
save.
And the
Oh,
ball out of touch and a goal kick.
Oh my goodness. Dangerous opportunity there for the Joy FC. Credit where credit's due. The speed. The absolute speed there from Joy FC on that short little play.
Yeah, and that's those moments you just can't fall asleep right there.
Exactly. I mean, he really caught. I mean, Outlaw's defense was pretty good there, but really caught a hole there in the.
Yep. Well, and especially, so the scenario is 1-0 right now, about 8 minutes plus stoppages till halftime. You really don't want anything to change scoreline-wise. At minimum, if you're the Outlaws, you've probably been the slightly better team this game. Had a few more dangerous chances. Not to say Joy hasn't had any. But it's definitely something where, you definitely want to go into halftime on top. But Joy's going to keep pushing. Joy has scored 11 goals in just their 3 matches. So, they can definitely find the back of the net, JD.
Absolutely. Something I think all of the Outlaws on the field and on the bench kind of know, which is why we're trying to keep the momentum alive here. As Joy FC able to recover. A little bit of back and forth action traffic here. Changing beautiful diagonal way across the pitch, changing the angle attack, really sprinting, and it's now a foot race as the Outlaws defense able to get to it, but knocks it just out of bounds here. Joy FC, right in the middle of the field, looking for some, looking at all options here.
Definitely, and kind of taking the sting out of the game here, Joy. Obviously pushing some people forward as they go direct here.
This is a wayward pass here. Just a little too long there.
And that is one thing, this is kind of a bit of a narrow surface sometimes. So sometimes, those big diagonal balls do run out of play from time to time. One there by the captain for Joy as Abdul wins the header, and great work there by Takumi. Referee, I believe, saw the foul but played advantage, and we're off. Madrigal on the ball. Can he go at the defenders? Looking for the big switch of play. Attack is still on here, JD, if they can go at pace, I believe.
I believe so, but in that time there, Joy FC able to get the defenders as they just knock it out of the play.
Yeah, you wonder, instead of, hindsight's 20/20, but you wonder if Madrigal just goes at the defender there instead of playing that switch ball.
I was wondering the exact same thing. He just had to get past one man, and you choose to go across the pitch, and giving Joy ample time, as we just saw, to get men up on the field. I mean, definitely the more risky play, but I'm in my judgment, would have gone for it.
Yep, great touch there by Jin, the left back. Yotaro has found himself on the ball so much this game, number 7 for your Outlaws, and that's a good sign when he's getting on the ball. He's a player who can dictate tempo, obviously.
Outlaws getting a call there.
Smart little play there, I will say, by Takumi.
So absolutely.
A little bit
sneaky,
a little bit cheeky, as you can see the smile there, on his face.
Yeah, we can see it from up here in the box.
And if he's smiling that big.
We play on, Alex. There's the Outlaws taking their sweet time to reset momentum.
And we're going to have a yellow card here for a
delay
delay
of game. Yep.
from Yotaro.
Like I said, it's Outlaws taking their time. You know, ref decided to make them pay for it. Yotaro better not make that same mistake here.
Yeah, you definitely called that one, JD. You
Yeah.
could see that one coming.
A little bit of foreshadowing there. You know, I just hope he doesn't get back-to-back here.
Good ball in there
Beautiful
from
pass.
him. Looking to make up for that.
Oh.
Lutz, great first touch.
Beautiful first touch. Just wasn't able to collect it on the second one.
Yeah, just got away from him a touch there, but tack still on. Looking to play intricate through the lines.
Once again, across the pitch.
Great run there from Yotaro Takumi. Looking to isolate Cohen with the whipped ball in. Cohen finds himself at the center of it again. Cohen played the last 2 seasons at Parkland Community College in Illinois.
Outlaws just looking to collect, looking for the best angle of attack here.
Cohen looking to drive forward. Might get on it, and almost a dangerous moment there, but Caputo could not gather it.
No. Joy FC looking to change momentum here. Once again, a little bit of midfield action. You know, Alex, I think both teams are definitely adapting to each other pretty well here. As we've seen a lot of dangerous opportunities both sides, but no balls in the back of the net. So, as Outlaws, beautiful slide there, but unable to recover there. Has to Joy once again resets momentum. Deep pass, looking like it's going to be an Outlaw recovery. Right for the captain. You know, a lot of great play here, but just I'm noticing a lot of misplaced passes, kind of costing both teams a lot of the momentum.
Yeah, definitely. And we do have a final score update from that 5 o'clock game, as Sioux Falls did end up beating the Minnesota Blizzard 2-1. So we'll have some updated standings for you after we get back from the break. See if the Outlaws can get to halftime with at least a lead, is really recovering in numbers there, and an unfortunate handball.
Dangerous opportunity here for Joy.
That's one of those as a player. You see why coaches on the sideline, BJ Wiley and Longvo, are a little bit animated, because you know it's hard as a player to adjust when the ball ricochets like that. So that's kind of a hard done call, and hopefully it doesn't cost the Outlaws here on the stroke of halftime.
Oh.
Very big moment here, I believe, JD.
Absolutely.
This could be one of those moments that turns the game either way.
Monumental, without a doubt, potentially a monumental moment for the game here as we enter, like you said, the 44th minute. Goats looking to shoot.
And
Just
off the hook.
High hook there.
The ball don't lie. Maybe that wasn't a handball, JD.
Maybe, but
Jesse Juarez skies it over the net, and like we said, let the Outlaws off the hook a little bit there, and for the home fans, that's something they would love to see.
absolutely best direction here for the Outlaws. As we're looking for a deep pass, and there it is.
Looking for Lutz again, the big man up top.
Absolutely. Lutz really
Juarez
causing...
gathers it, and a little bit of a wild tackle there. Lucky not to get the player.
Exactly. Now is not the time to be reckless for the Outlaws.
Definitely. Good win there.
Still got a whole half to go.
Takumi there. Finds Yotaro again. Does the smart thing, gets his leg out of the way. Good tackle there by the Goats.
Saw it coming. Both teams getting a little aggressive, a little too early for my taste. Here's a lovely little short pass for the Outlaws. Outlaws just looking to...
Played there, and number 12, Marshall wins the Outlaws a foul. Now a big moment on the other end, potentially, from maybe not as dangerous of a position, but still an area you can do something with as we are into first 45 seconds of stoppage time here in the first half, JD, as we
Absolutely.
head towards half.
Like you said, Alex, dangerous position here for the Outlaws. Not as good as the Joy, but definitely something you can make out of it.
Finds
as the Outlaw decides to go backwards and reset a little bit here.
Yep.
Interesting choice.
Still have a couple of the big defenders forward, see if they can use it. And that is your halftime whistle. Center referee Shirley blows for halftime, and at the halftime break, it is 1-0. Siouxland United Outlaws leading Joy Athletic Club in a big game, I think, for both teams, obviously. So, yeah, we'll catch you guys on the other side of halftime. And we are back here for the second half of Joy Athletic Club playing Siouxland United here at Bishop Heelan Memorial Stadium. And, we'd like to welcome you back with our second guest of the evening. Tom Maxon joins us tonight, and Tom has been a Siouxland coaching legend, is what we'll say, or stalwart. Someone who's been in the Siouxland area for years. Coaching at Morningside University of the men's and women's programs. Tom is also coaching the Sioux City Soul women's summer league team as well. So wanted to just welcome you, Tom, and do you got any thoughts on the game so far here after a half?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all, and a chance to plug the Soul a little bit. But, really, really great-looking group here. The score is only 1-0, but it could be 3 or 4 right now. It's a really nice team, and I know the coaching staff, and I've seen last year's group as well, and know the ownership and the management crew, and so I know how hard they've worked at all of this, and it's great to see it back again. When I first moved here in '98, it was to coach the old Sioux City Breeze. I was the general manager and coach for them for '98, '99 seasons before they were sold and moved to Sioux Falls, upon which I then became their head coach for 3 more years, 2001, 2, and 3. We had some good teams there, and this is just a really great, memory producer here for me, and nice to see it back going. And
right.
This town has really grown in the right direction soccer-wise in 25 years that I've been here, and really nice to see. This group's doing a really good job. It's got a classy group of players on the field. They really play with the ball, do some really nice things tactically.
Yeah, and obviously you have some, kind of the staff members pretty well. A couple of guys on the Siouxland staff obviously have worked with you at Morningside, right? You want to talk about like their skills and their involvement as coaches?
Well, B.J. Wiley, who's kind of got the helm today since Alex has gone for a wedding, I believe. B.J. was he played at Morningside his career, and then from 2007 to probably 2020 or 21 or something like that was my top assistant for all those years, and really helped build the program basically what it became or has become. So I know him intimately and respect him as a coach and a student of the game and all that. Longvo has been my assistant now the last 2 years. I think he'll come into his 3rd year this year. Gio Curiel was a goalkeeper for me and has been coaching on my staff at Morningside for 6 or 7 years now. So, all these guys are good soccer guys. I think they picked the right guys in town to kind of help. Well, of course, you came along after all this was going on. So you'll probably be involved with this group at some point.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you're going to recruit this caliber of player to this team, the college coach that you're bringing them from needs to know that they're coming into an environment where they will be challenged and learn and get good training every day. That college coach doesn't care if you guys win the championship or not. He cares about whether he's getting a kid back who's sharp, has been challenged in training every day, that sort of thing. So this is a staff that can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the most exciting thing is, because that's the perspective of it. Yes, this is the summer league team, but there's bigger growth out there for the players and for the program. And I was going to ask you about that. So the growth of soccer in Siouxland, just even in the last couple of years, and a goal for the Outlaws. Tom, you must be good luck for us today as Takumi Sato got on the score sheet.
Nice.
When we had general manager Jesse Castillo up here, they about scored 3 times. So we need to have more guests.
Okay.
But as you were saying, talented players, great start to the second half there. Sato got on the end of it. But what excites you even just the last few years about the growth of, this program, other stuff in the city popping up like the Soul again, obviously selfishly my program a little bit popping up too.
Gosh, yes.
As a junior college program to pair with you in Briarcliff as well. What excites you about that? Like you said, it kind of reminds you of the old days, but it's kind of in a modern time, which is cool.
Well, I think in those old days when we had on a good day we'd have 600-700 fans at times, but it was really pulling teeth, and the owners had been looking to sell for a while. When Sioux Falls came along and offered, they sold and moved them out of here. It was just really hard every year to try to get this going, and I think the ownership group at the time was 10 or 12 kind of small money people, owners. And I think what you see here with one big money owner and several others, a great list of sponsors over there on the other side of the field. And then obviously the the demographic makeup of Sioux City itself has changed. It's so much more international, so much more Hispanic, so much more people who love the game.
Yep.
Where 25 years ago you were bringing in the majority of our crowd were youth soccer players and their parents, and the parents were only there because the kid was there.
Right. Now you got people that have played through a generation.
All these,
and that
I look
makes
through the
sense.
crowd here, and I see a lot of the dads in here are kids that were in high school when I first came here.
Right,
So you can
exactly.
see that second generation group. But like you said, the WIT program, which is tremendous, the Briarcliff program has also been really strong the last several years. And then Morningside, of course, and then all the high schools have really changed in their makeup. You could count the number of Hispanic and other nationalities on high school teams in this town on one hand when I first got here, and now it's just boomed. The rosters are all big, and it's really, really great to see. And and then to introduce a women's team into the mix here this year, or last year, I should say, this is our second year now, is a really nice addition as well.
Yep. Helps the game growing, I think, on that side of things as well, not just the men's side, but the women's side as well, and that's a big part of it too, I think.
It's really great to see, really great.
Awesome. So on that note, when's the Sioux City Souls next game then?
We play tomorrow at home.
Nice.
We normally play at home at Morningside, but this year Morningside's getting its turf replaced, so we're at Briarcliff.
Nice.
Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Sunday. So that would be Sunday, June 1st, 5 p.m.
So
at Briarcliff. We've got the same kind of makeup as Siouxland United with young ladies from the top colleges around the area, USD, SDSU, several of the, Morningside and Briarcliff, but also several of the outlying Division IIs and NAIA schools, some JUCO girls, a couple of WIT players, and that's as well. So I think it's a really great mix, just like you have here. We're probably a year or two away from what you guys have put together here, but you're in a situation where the management and the vision and the continuity of this thing, they've been working so hard on this in the off season. And you knew, let's just say you ran this thing, what had you been doing the last year? You're even on your WIT team. So we kind of have a lull there. We've hired a really great marketing director in Michelle Mello. She's been doing a tremendous job. We've got a good ownership group of our two main business type owners are dads of young girls who play in the city, and are in the clubs. So it's a community thing. We wanted to kind of connect with not just soccer playing families in the area, but also just any young girls who play any sport, because in addition to Siouxland United, we've got the Bandits and the X's and the hockey team and all that. So this is the only women's thing there is.
Right, exactly.
So come on out and support it, and we want to empower young girls and women through soccer, and if it grows beyond that, and they get other. I think there was a roller hockey team here one time, roller derby team here one time.
Are you going to bring back the roller derby?
No,
team
I don't
then
think
too,
so.
Tom?
I don't think so. I just didn't want to say we were the first. I think the roller dames or whatever they were called was I even went to one of those one time. It was pretty exciting.
Nice.
But look, the overall gist of it is this town is becoming more broad and international and able to support not just a hockey team and not just a baseball team, but also sports like soccer. And there's a big hunger for it in this town. So I think all these ownership entities are bringing what's necessary to the town.
Makes sense. So I got one last coaching question to leave you with, though. So goal quickly after halftime to make the game 2-0. As a coach, how does that change your mindset with the early goal here in the second half for Siouxland United to go up 2-0 instead of 1-0 at half? So put you on the spot here, Tom.
I mean, obviously I know a little bit of background here because I've talked to the coaches a lot, but they've had really great on-field playing success, but they lost those two previous games. So I think these two goals were very important to give them their confidence back and to show that all the things they've been doing in training, and you know this as a coach, the tactical philosophy you're trying to get across to the players has to have a buy-in at some point. So I think the players now can see this is as much for the players as it is for the coaching staff and the fans. It's really important that this is a home game. This is happening in a home game. So I think not only does it kind of prove the concept, but also probably at some point you're going to start seeing a couple of subs. He's going to be able to get into the bench and see a couple of kids that may not have gotten any time if it stayed 1-0 most of the rest of the game.
Yep, we know how goals change games, that's for sure. So, well, appreciate you coming on today, Tom, and best of luck tomorrow. I know the timing works out if anyone wants to do a soccer doubleheader tomorrow with Siouxland United playing at 2 here, right up the road, maybe, 6 minutes at Briarcliff at
most,
Faber
yeah.
Field.
Yeah.
The Soul will be playing at 5 o'clock. The timing works out perfect. So appreciate you coming on, Tom, and appreciate you coming out. And I'll go let you enjoy the rest of the game here. All right, my man?
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you, Tom.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks again to Tom Maxon there for coming on. Morningside coach. Is definitely some stuff happened when Tom was on screen again. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things like Jesse. He was good luck, except when Tom was actually on, we scored. So Jesse's got to step his guest speaking game up. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So yeah, obviously a bit of a back and forth game there, obviously during those moments, but. Like Tom was saying, obviously, it reinforces kind of what Siouxland United has been doing well, despite the results not going well those first couple of games, JD.
Absolutely. I kind of want to build off something he mentioned in his interview, too. I mean, as a member of the Latin community, yeah, I could definitely agree with him. I remember when I was way younger, I mean, all the soccer games that I went to, no matter if it was college level or all the way down to like 5th graders, I mean, the only people that were there were the parents of the players, or direct family members, maybe a cousin or two. But like now, I mean, nowadays we've got a pretty decent crowd here from all walks of life, and it's incredible to see here, to watch. I mean, the growth of a sport in a community over the past, I would say, I mean, I've been aligned for 22 years, so for the past at least 15 years, I mean, just the shift in respect and momentum and just really attention to the game is something you just love to see. It's incredible to watch, and something you just love to see here as Joy is.
That's something you don't love to watch. So either way, I actually missed that though. I was following the ball.
Absolutely.
Was it just a late collision then?
That's a little late collision there.
Yeah, I didn't think there was much in that because the ball was gone. It looked like almost just two players coming together from what I saw.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Alex. I kind of caught the tail end
and like
of it.
Tom was saying, though, obviously, within this game, getting that second goal does reinforce everything Siouxland United, the coaching staff, Alex Trant, BJ Wiley, Longvo are trying to do. Because like he said, the team has been playing well, but it's just something where, you need to see it happen on the field.
Absolutely here as the Joy is putting on one of its subs.
We got Jacob Moriak, number 93, coming on.
We got number 93, Jacob for Joy coming on, and number 4 coming on for a substitution.
Might be a bit of an attacking sub there, and like I was saying, that's why it's key for Siouxland is, unfortunately, that ball is gone in the river, and ownership might have to buy a new match ball now.
That ball is taking a swim for sure there.
You should see the faces up in the press box when that ball almost gets hit across Hamilton. As Outlaws defending deep here, and you really look for the Outlaws to seize momentum because the way the other results have gone tonight, this is a big moment for them if they can continue to play well tonight, get these 3 points, and then obviously push on into the quick turnaround tomorrow to play Minnesota Blizzard.
Absolutely, Alex. Kind of like I said earlier tonight, I was talking about how that second goal is really just key, not only for momentum but also morale. It really solidifies your confidence in yourself. Because one goal, I mean, you could chop it up to dumb luck, but 2, I mean, now you've got a little bit of something going there.
And Abdallah there with the late challenge, probably a yellow, and probably the easiest yellow card that Ray Shirley's ever given there in that situation.
Absolutely. No, not a shred of doubt in that call there.
Yeah, he's got a little bit too tight to the attacker there, and attacker did do a good move rolling him into the space, and that's where you might see more of this game. I would look for, obviously Joy's going to have to push forward. At this point they got nothing to lose, obviously, and they're going to try and get back in this game, but it's something where I think Siouxland's got to be aware of that, and obviously you look for the coaching staff to make those adjustments as you can see them in
Alex,
conversation over there. As Shirley just calming down some
A little bit of back and forth there, Alex. I mean, like you said earlier,
Yep,
like you said,
some
like
back and forth at the top of the box, you could say.
absolutely. Like we said earlier today, I mean, the Goats only have 3 subs. I mean, so I imagine everyone's a little tired, everyone's a little rowdy, and you're going to see some more aggressive tactics coming out from the Joy FC as we enter the second half here, especially with a 2-0 falling behind 2-0 here.
Ball whipped in, bounces around there, and Cohen sends it back up to midfield here, and a little bit loose touch, and that does look like a handball. It could possibly be a yellow card there. He might get a yellow for the delay of game instead of the handball. You know, I would have been
absolutely.
I would have been considering that if I was a ref, if he's the last defender for a yellow card there. But either way, same difference.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that call there.
Yellow card for delay of game after the whistle there.
Looks like that yellow goes on Victor Hernandez Cano, number 11, who is back on the corner kick there.
Absolutely. You know, like I mentioned a couple minutes earlier, I mean, you're just seeing a change in pace here from Joy, you know.
Yeah, so as we were saying before, Sioux Falls Thunder obviously won tonight, so they're back up to 6 points, and you know, Minnesota Blizzard's still sitting there on 3 points, so that's where this game becomes massive for Siouxland to obviously hopefully get the 3 points, and then they go into that game tomorrow with the Blizzard level with a chance to go above them in the standings. So, you know, definitely all to play for. But a big half hour or so here left on Memorial Field as the ball goes forward here for Joy, and great defending there by Abdul.
You know, it's not exactly related directly to soccer, but it'll be interesting to see the kind of shift in time here as the evening gets cooler, a little more crisp, and the lights come on here at Bishop Hill Memorial Field with a beautiful change in attack here.
There's Lutz again in that dangerous left side channel area.
Yes, again, Lutz. Lutz really becoming a problem here for the Joy FC tonight.
Yeah,
I
thought he's had a really good game. Go down a looked like a foul there, but not completely sure. My vantage point was a little bit blocked.
I don't know, Alex. I had a pretty clean view, and I'm gonna be honest, I was surprised there was no call there.
As however works out, we got a corner kick though for your Outlaws.
Corner kick. We would like to thank Rent Sue, Housing Legends Plan, Asset Management, Smart Money Moves, Get Brandon 360, and Reds Printing for making us look good. Go Passage for easy ticketing. Mike Murphy, our team lawyer. La Juanita's Taco with a Bite. Big Picture Entertainment, Screen Giants. iHeartMedia, our Outlaw Hype Squad.
Siouxland United whips it in. Dealt with by the Goats.
And Shrunk Roofing for covering Siouxland here.
Siouxland quickly gains possession again, and that's what they were doing so well in the first half. Cohen's in there. Great save by the goalkeeper there.
Beautiful save by the defender there as well there.
Another corner kick, though, here for the Outlaws, and that's one. Great to get the shot on frame, but you expected that to hit the back of the net there from the captain, Cohen.
Exactly. You know, I really thought we were going to have a 3-0 lead there for the Outlaws. We'd like to thank Campbell's Electric for shocking the league, Schulster for delivering wins, Perspective Insurance, who's always got our back, Goal Kick Soccer for your gear plug, Adidas, Stripes for Days, Rent Sue, the Housing Legends, Stony Creek Hotel, our Outlaw headquarters, and Chesterman's and Powerade, our hydration squad here.
Who's 9-8?
Send the kick way down the pitch here as it just rolls or bounces out of play.
Just right.
Yeah. Outlaws are going to collect.
And it looks like the Outlaws here are gaining some more control.
You know, I'll say it again, Alex. I mean, I imagine if you're the Goats right now, you're starting to feel pretty tired and pretty frustrated with a 2-0 fall behind.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, this is one of those situations where every goal does matter in the league. You know, goal difference is a big tiebreaker, obviously, for these teams. So.
Absolutely.
You know, not to mention the fact you want the result, but you also want to keep pushing forward when you get these moments. You know, you got a team on the back end of a tough back-to-back. You know, you got your home opener, obviously, tonight. So look to whip it in here again from the left back. Puts it right on top of the keeper. Great shot and a goal there. The center back, Xavier Davidson.
Goal by Xavier Davidson.
And Siouxland United, the Outlaws are riding high tonight.
3-0 lead here, Alex, as we enter the 63rd minute here of the match. A little early here for the second half, but you love to see it. Like you said, what a great way to start off the first home game of this season. I imagine Joy FC right now. Not liking how this is looking for them.
Yeah, now this is definitely a situation you might look for Coach B.J. Wiley to make some changes, and it looks like there will be some changes as Christian Pewey, number 9's coming in, along with number 8, Kaitatsu Yoshida.
Couple of substitutions for Siouxland. Coming in on the field, number 9, Christian Peway.
So, Alex, like you said, a couple changes here, probably changes in paces, change in momentum, a little bit of some new strategy for the Outlaws. But I'm just curious, with a 3-0 lead, I mean, it's still quite a lead, but the game ain't over yet. What do you hope to see from the Outlaws in a change for a change here?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just keeping the tempo up, like Coach Tom Maxon was saying. You get in these certain situations, the game kind of dictates who you can put on and everything. Obviously, it's something where, the biggest thing here is to get the result. But yeah, you're in a situation you can maybe tweak some things a little bit with now a 3-goal lead, which is a pretty comfortable lead. But yeah, you still want to keep seeing the things you work on in training come out in the match, which I think Coach Maxon said beautifully. So yeah, it would just be something. I think in that situation, the subs he made were just really some fresh legs. Potentially the guys he took out, I think, will play some key roles tomorrow with, I think, Takumi going to have a big effect on the game against the Blizzard, I think. So obviously resting him for 30 or so minutes is massive, I think, today.
Absolutely. As the ball rolls all the way out of the stands. Here, as Joy FC looking to reset some momentum here. A little bit of negative action for Joy. Just really looking for a hole in the defense of the Outlaws. Looking like they might have found it here on top of the pitch. As Outlaws looking to collect a little bit of a messy play there. Ooh, as looks like it might be stop and play from a push for the Outlaw from Joy FC.
Yeah, and the unique thing about the North Conference this year is I do think there's massive improvement across the board in all the teams this year in the North Conference. For example, and heading into this game today, Joy had scored 11 goals in just 3 matches. And right now, Siouxland United shutting them out. It was kind of a role reversal. Joy was one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Siouxland was one of the lowest scoring, and now they're kind of flopped. But I think a lot of that has to do with that development. Sometimes some things take time. Sometimes, you get a team on a short rest like today, and the results can change quickly. So I definitely think this conference is wide open this year. I wouldn't even put a favorite out there, I think, at this point, just because it's so competitive right now. But that's a pretty exciting thing to see from where we sit, right, JD? I mean, some great games ahead.
Absolutely. I couldn't said it better myself, Alex. It's too early in the season. Real change in really overall layout of the entire league here. So, I mean, you just can't expect the same thing as last year here as Outlaws. Way back.
Ititsu plays it long. Yeah, it's definitely something where on any given night, I think you can't predict the result, and that's why it's just, key no matter what happens, how quick you can respond to adversity. How when you're in the good moments of momentum, you keep those good moments going, right?
Exactly. So. Key for the coaches to keep up with strategy and tactics. Key for the players to really keep up on their skills, and key for you to keep tuning in here for all the action.
Great ball up top there is Christian rolls his defender.
Ooh, opportunity here for the Outlaws.
Joao hits it.
Just up and
going
over
for the
there.
Dagger right there.
Alex, I'm hindsight's 20/20, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think he had a little more time to kind of just line it up a little better there.
JD, you're talking to the wrong guy. I scored 1 goal in 40 college games, my friend. So I never got that
Where's
far
Tom?
forward.
Where's Tom? Tell him to get him back up here on the box.
Jesse played striker. Let's go ask him.
Get him on the line. See if we can get.
We'll get the GM. Where's the GM? He's probably smiling from ear to ear now at this score, though, huh?
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I heard him screaming the loudest here on that last goal. And
it looks like they bring Christian on. The big number 9 up top has allowed the Outlaws to play a little bit more direct and get a little bit more hold-up play, and that's definitely a nice strategic move from the coaching staff, I think, today. Obviously that's what I was talking about, those fresh legs. You can tweak how you're playing just a little bit.
Exactly, a little bit more. I mean, I imagine fresh legs are definitely an advantage for the Outlaws, as once again, Joy only has 3 subs.
Yep.
So
And you're kind of seeing that with the loose touch there from number 41.
Exactly.
And that is a late challenge there from Joy.
looking like a card there for number 45 for the Joy. Excuse me.
It would look like Osman Cisse on the yellow card, and got to be a little bit careful there. I think he did come in a little bit late there and reckless.
Yeah, it looks like we said, just they're going to be a little more aggressive, especially with a 3-0 fallback here as the Outlaws looking to set up. Not quite a dagger dangerous opportunity, but still somewhere you don't want to see the Outlaws if you're a fan of Joy FC right now.
As Ray Shirley says, please put the ball down where the exact fall happened to Jin. With a little grin from both of them. Both can smile at this point in the game, which is a good thing to see. Great little reverse ball there from
Always love to see a little bit of humanity, even in a heated game like this.
Definitely. As the Outlaws looking to pour it on a little bit here. And yeah, like we said, the way the league's panning out here early on, I think it's definitely something where
It'll be an interesting year for sure, Alex.
Definitely, and there's lots of games this weekend. There were the 3 games tonight. Tomorrow, obviously, we said Siouxland United plays at home versus Minnesota Blizzard, but then next weekend you got Joy AC hosting the Iowa Demon Hawks, which should be a good match. Siouxland United hosts Duluth, which will be currently the first place team in the standings, as current scores and standings hold, coming here to Bishop Heelan Memorial Field. And then on the 7th, you got the Demon Hawks playing the Blizzard up in the Twin Cities area. So should be some clarity to the standings maybe in about 9-10 days. There's a great ball out there and looked like a rehearsed play that just didn't come off there off the corner kick.
Exactly, Alex. Speaking of corner quick thank you to our sponsors, Riverside Properties, Real Estate with Heart, Verde Outdoors, Signs That Shout, Great Western Rentals, Tools of the Trade, and La Pirata de Mal Football and Food for sponsoring us this season. Alex, like Tom said, also tomorrow, Sioux City Soul Play, 5 o'clock. Sioux City Soul Play tomorrow here in Sioux City at Briarcliff, 5 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a doubleheader tomorrow. 2 o'clock over here for Siouxland United can be the first game you watch tomorrow, and then head over to Faber Field and Briarcliff and catch the Sioux City Soul and the
right up the road there.
Mr. Tom Maxon.
Go watch the legend himself. Coach a pretty solid team, in my opinion. I've seen.
Definitely, and I've had the pleasure of coaching against Tom at the college level in friendlies. Obviously, our teams are located about 7 minutes away here in Sioux City, so playing them every preseason and spring season obviously is a good experience. I've gotten to know Tom really well since I've moved up to Siouxland myself. It's got about 18 minutes left on the clock here, and as the sun's starting to go down below the horizon on this picturesque scene here.
Honestly, could not think of a much better condition to play here, as
looks like a
stoppage and play.
Little jostling up there between Pewee.
Yeah, Outlaws trading a few words to the ref there. Refs telling him to settle down there a minute. Here as the Outlaws.
One thing I have seen from the Outlaws is, they've still been able to go forward well this game, but they have stayed pretty organized defensively.
Absolutely,
there's been a couple times Joy's done a great job of breaking them down, but I do feel like, great shot there, and cutting in on the left foot there from the right back.
Absolutely, Alex. Joy, like you said, Joy's been able
there from Christopher Martial.
Like you said, Alex, Joy has been able to find those holes into the defense, but there's not a whole lot of them for the entirety of this match here.
As Harumi Yamada comes on. And Joao Lutz, I thought, had a very good game for the Outlaws today, JD. Would you agree?
I couldn't find me a man who wouldn't agree.
Yep.
Alex, I mean, like we said earlier, in that first half, he had those first two pretty close shots on goal within 30 seconds of each other, and then he was able to put the first
Great win
goal
there
to
by
that
the
here.
substitute. There's those fresh legs, JD, and taking a chance right away. A little live wire there from Harumi.
Explosive fresh legs there. Once again, just dangerous for Joy FC here.
He's got a sub here.
You know, Alex, you'd love to see it, though. You'd love to see just that much energy here as we enter the 73rd minute of the match. You know, just to see the Outlaws still have that much momentum. And yeah, and sure, he is a fresh pair of legs, but I mean, just from the team overall, you know, not seeing really any sort of downgrade in energy.
Yeah, and the sub here, Mr. Claudio Zua coming on for Joy Athletic Club. And yeah, you know, it's definitely something where, to get back to Lutz, I thought he was one of the most dangerous players every time he got the ball moving forward, whether he was on the end of the attack, starting the attack. I thought his movement was good. It'll be interesting to see how much he has left in the tank for tomorrow, because I think coaching staff will be looking for another big performance for hopefully getting those 3 points, obviously, against the Blizzard tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And as we said earlier, the Blizzard are coming off a loss tonight in Sioux Falls.
Looking like a call there.
Offsides there on Pewee. This is a game kind of taking a bit slower tempo here now with a few of the stoppages. Another substitution there for Joy Athletic Club. And now all 3 of their subs are on the field. Number 96, Abdullah Salam Akinola, coming onto the pitch there.
Another substitution for Joy, number 6.
Another offsides moment there potentially, as Joy looks like they're holding a really high line now, JD. Really going to push for it, it seems.
Yep. Some nice little late game change in tactics here as we enter the 75th minute.
Might open up some more space for the Outlaws, obviously, with Joy almost looking like they're going 2-2 at the back. Siouxland United gathers possession there. Once again finding Cohen there in the deeper position. He's going to spray it wide. Looks to be offsides, and the AR agrees with my vantage point. Just a little bit eager there. A little bit of shouting back and forth, some frustration boiling over from the Goats.
A lot of late game emotion here.
You know, which is understandable in that situation. No one likes to be down like that. And,
Nobody.
you know, hasn't been their day on the pitch when they've had a really fast start to the season.
Nope.
Siouxland United asking for the same yellow card for time wasting that one of their players got.
You know, I was going to...
Great ball through. There's Pewee. Can he round the keeper? Great little tap in and around the goalkeeper, and that's number 4. The substitute makes an impact there, and I think you could kind of see that coming, obviously, with the few substitutes they're combining, obviously, JD.
Yes, you could, Alex. You could see it with the substitutes and just with the lack of defenders there for that play. Outlaws just able to get a nice little pass there and just blow right past their 2 defenders and just a quick little side pass right around the goal, like you said.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice composed finish. You know, that's not always the easiest thing to do. When the keeper's running at you full speed, you're running full speed. You know, and
gaps closing fast. I mean,
exactly. Yes.
Windows close.
Yeah, you have to make that split-second decision and not waste a chance, and they took it.
There's a chance not wasted tonight here as we now hit 4-0 in the 77th minute.
Yeah, so it appears Siouxland United is about 12 minutes plus stoppages from their first points of their sophomore campaign here, and you know, looking to build on that as we head towards tomorrow. Great drive there down the side from Joy Athletic Club. Jin just misses it.
Massive drive there from Joy Athletic. They are not playing anymore.
This is the other thing is Joy's got to be careful here. Any, one goes down with an injury, anything, they got no more substitutes left. So
Absolutely, Alex, and
a little hand fighting there, and probably the right call on Christian there, I would say.
I would say so. There.
But it seems like that's what they're putting him in there to do, is obviously be physical with the back line against Joy, hold up play, break up play, and I think it's working.
I would agree, Alex. Definitely getting on their nerves. You can kind of see it on really all the players here.
Yeah, and it's something. Besides that play, and obviously to get a goal with it as well is a key thing to come on as an attacker. As acting head coach today, B.J. Wiley, looks on. Obviously, you don't want to give Joy any hope or avenue back into the game, so you got to be careful in these moments as well.
Absolutely, Alex. If I was head coach right now, I'd be telling my players to just play it safe and keep possession as long as you can. Really run out the clock, like you said. Don't give them any opportunity here.
Looped ball. Looked like there was a hand in the back there, but not much harm done. As
Outlaws looking for that.
Outlaws got the goal kick, and Harumi is onside as he started his run on his own half there. If the ball would have been a little bit better. Dribbles it back into some pressure, but trying to free up some space there for Yoshida. Yoshida finds it again.
Beautiful.
Drawn two defenders, and
Oy,
little lay moment there. Defender took some exception to that.
Outlaws fan base not liking that.
What they did like was the move before that, though, and the folks can enjoy themselves. That's what they pay to see, JD.
Beautiful. You love nothing better than three perfectly quickly executed passes than a move like that. Finish it off with a move like that. $5 passes, $10 move.
Ball be whipped in here from the left back. No one on the end of it. Looked like a handball potentially.
Alex, I had a pretty clean view of that. I'm not going to disagree.
Coach Wiley looks exasperated at that no call. There's the Goats looking to break here. Fantastic tackle by the captain.
Clean tackle.
Takes it a touch too far away, and Joy lets the Outlaws off the hook there.
Well, we're about 10 minutes left with stoppages here at Bishop Hill Memorial Field. Like I said earlier, if I was Outlaws, I'd be looking to just kill the clock.
Yep.
Here, as we have
that's a really powerful throw from the left back. I will not lie. No wonder they use that as a long throw in dangerous areas, JD.
Incredible throw there. Are we sure he's playing the right kind of football?
We'll have to ask Coach Trent about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Again, substitutes here with the fresh legs looking to break. Harumi, since he's come in, has been fantastic, I've thought. Number 17. He's finding the right pockets defensively and offensively and just done some very good things.
Exactly. That explosive play within the first 5 seconds of him on the
Abdul,
pitch.
the Northeast center back, obviously controls it and plays it back to his keeper, and a fantastic ball out to the right back.
Beautiful space.
Great little play there out of pressure from Siouxland United, and they look to break again, and there might be a play on here, maybe a 2v1. Can the decision-making be right? Pewee just takes it a touch too long. And then a foul behind the play, and that's a tough one as an attacker. I don't think, he had really any intent there. Did he get the player possibly? I think maybe the ref's calling that to keep things under wraps and not let it boil over this late, JD.
Probably, Alex. I would agree with you there. He's probably trying to keep the players from becoming a hockey fight here. But from my vantage point, I'm going to have to question that one.
Yep.
But Alex, like you said, that little pass back here from the goalkeeper. I mean, it's moments like that really set up these key sort of attacks here. As the Outlaws.
Outlaws just definitely looking to play it long and direct to Pewee and Harumi a little bit. Still sitting in that 4-4-2 diamond. Looks like Joy switched to a more attacking back three here, trying to chase the game. That looked like a handball, but
We play on,
Assuming the
Alex.
ref didn't call it since Cohen retained possession. There's Jen looking to drive down the side, and believe it'll be another corner for the Outlaws. You know what time that is, JD?
It's time to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Quality IT, our digital defenders, Go Passage, Easy Ticketing, Rad LLC Investment Brain, Specialized Concrete for solid support, iHeartMedia, the Outlaw Hype Squad, Ho Chung Capital, investing in our future, Verde Outdoors, signs that shout, Great Western Rentals, tools of the trade, and of course, Big Picture Entertainment, our screen giants, for sponsoring us this season.
A little bit of a wasted ball there from the Outlaws, and Emilio does a smart thing, just taps it out for a throw in a terrible area for Joy. It's turned into a beautiful night here at Heelan Memorial Stadium.
Absolutely, Alex. The kind of night you want to take a cruise out. Take a nice drive, but be sure to clean your cars with Hamilton Touchless. Speaking of touchless, beautiful touches here from.
Yep, the main man for Joy, Caputo, finds the ball, but then the touch just goes awry, and you can definitely tell in moments that Joy did play yesterday, and you can kind of see that in their legs.
Exactly.
So that's why it'll be interesting tomorrow to see how the Outlaws respond. The unique thing, them and the Blizzard will both be coming off of a match today.
Absolute bomb from the Outlaws goalkeeper.
Harumi giving a chase, but the center back will just shepherd it out here, and referee keeping close tabs on that little physical play there. Make sure stuff doesn't get out of hand. Beautiful build up here by Joy. But they haven't really gone anywhere. Great breaking the lines and stuff, and Siouxland retains possession. Good little press there from Siouxland United. Obviously, Joy had a couple breaking passes that broke the lines, but obviously, I think the Outlaws kept their shape well, and out of touch it went.
Absolutely, Alex. I mentioned a lot last season, but Outlaws just seem to have pretty great responses to every team's call so far, especially tonight here. Every single call that Joy has made, Outlaws have had a pretty great response to.
Yep. Good ball there by Abdullah, finding Harumi, and a great play from Emilio.
Emilio all by himself here.
Kayatsu in. Kayatsu puts it away for a fantastic fifth.
Goal from Ketsu.
Fifth goal here for the Siouxland United Outlaws. We enter the 86th minute.
And Siouxland has responded in a big way to starting the season 0-2, putting some of these chances
Absolutely.
away and flipping the goal difference pretty quick. And, the thing you love to see there, JD, was, again, 2 or 3 substitutes getting involved, finding a goal opportunity. Those moments obviously help the whole squad. So
Exactly.
It was a great finish, though. Just to the side of the keeper, kind of in that awkward little pocket sometimes that keepers can't get to.
Reading the field, great passes, incredible speed. The confidence is unmatched. You love to see it, especially for a first home game. Like we mentioned earlier, this season is stacking up to be a great one, especially if we keep this momentum.
I think the key ball there that was kind of lost, it was Emilio Madrigal's ball. The movement off the ball was great, but he was able to play that one time, put Keitatsu through, and Keitatsu did the rest. It was a great little interchange. The movement off the ball was fantastic, and I know that's what Coach Trent wants. I know that's what Coach Wiley wants, and seeing a few of their training sessions. So it's a great response for the Outlaws, and it's a few more minutes here, and they should have these 3 points wrapped up with pretty good goal difference to boot.
Exactly, Alex. Can't have great plays if you don't have great setups here. As Joy FC kind of trips over the ball.
Out of bounds there, and the AR's on top of it. Caputo's not too happy with that one. And like we said, 2 p.m. tomorrow here back at Bishop Heelan Memorial Stadium. Such a quick turnaround. I don't think General Manager Jesse Castillo will even go home tonight. He may just sleep here.
I would not be surprised, Alex.
But it should be another gorgeous day, obviously, so just bring your sunscreen since it will be the heat of the day, obviously. We'll have all the vendors here, all the food trucks, concessions going, so great little Sunday afternoon to bring the family out.
Exactly, a great crowd as well. Especially after tonight's seeming win here for the Outlaws. I'd imagine the atmosphere is going to be even more ecstatic than it is tonight.
Great little drive there from the right back, looking for more
Goalkeeper.
As the
right.
Outlaws are looking to push that goal difference and really stick the ball in the net maybe a few more times here.
Really send a message to the league tonight. I think that's what the Outlaws are just looking to do now. 5-0 is great, but 6-0 is even better. As Joy FC finding themselves top of the goalkeeper's box.
Good little hit there as Joy's trying to pull one back.
Nearly.
Looks like it'll be a card here for Joy FC. Can't quite see who that is. It looks like it's Caputo, but we'll confirm here in a second. Probably one of those cards born out of frustration from him as he's had a fast start to the season.
Absolutely, Alex. I heard a lot of players saying that's not a touch. It's not a touch. So definitely something out of frustration as the player and the ref trade words here. 1 minute to go plus stoppages here at Bishop Hill Memorial Field in Sioux City, Iowa. Like you said, Alex, beautiful weather.
Yeah,
Just cannot stop thinking about it.
and definitely one thing I think to take from tonight is definitely a solid performance from the back four tonight for Siouxland United. The back four with Cohen in front I thought has been very organized. And I think that's something they can build on. Obviously, getting a clean sheet's a big deal, as well as putting the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, getting a clean sheet can do a ton for confidence. But these back four have been great today. I think they've been good. Cohen's been good in front of him, screening, kind of taking out the dangerous plays, and I think that's given Siouxland the platform to do more in the game today.
Absolutely, Alex. I imagine putting five balls in the net builds your team's confidence. Absolutely, but like you said, a clean sheet. I think that kind of goes unnoticed in terms of really building a team's confidence. Knowing that you're playing well and clean. No better feeling, I'd imagine. As we enter 90 minutes.
Looked like a clip there, looked like a handball, but the referee, I think, just wants to get home at this point.
Yes, sir.
Another good defending right there, and great little turn from Emilio, who's been fantastic, and Pewee getting in on the action. Left him in the dust. I don't think that was a shot. I think he was trying to whip it to Harumi, I would imagine.
I'd imagine too far for a shot on goal.
As I've said before, I've never been the goal scorer during my playing days, but I could imagine that would be a through ball to his opposite striker.
Absolutely.
And once again, Emilio's been fantastic in that midfield role today, I think. But definitely to go back to it, I think the base of the team with the Cohen in front of the back line has been massive today.
Absolutely, Alex. But the back, like
Just
you said
winding
earlier,
down here in stoppage time, JG. So,
the back four.
any big plans tonight, JD?
Alex, I think I'm gonna go out to Hamilton touchless, clean my car up, and go for a nice cruise.
Nice.
Nice. Enjoy the nice weather
for sure
tonight.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it is a nice night for a cruise. You can visit some of our other sponsors as well here in the city.
Absolutely, I could.
You could go to La Juanita's if you're hungry later tonight.
Alex, they're great sponsors. Even better food. I would not mind. Get some Wells Blue Bunny ice cream. It's a little.
It is a nice night.
It
for
is a
ice
nice
cream.
night for ice cream.
Nice
It's
summer
not-
night.
It's not quite middle of July heat, but it ain't cold out here either.
Yeah, could go with the Powerade from Chesterman's.
Dress myself up with a little bit of Adidas, show some stripes.
And we got a little drama here, unfortunately. Have to make a better decision there later in the game as
Outlaws get a red card.
Unfortunately, Yotaro picks up a soft second yellow for a late trip, and unfortunately, he will be out the remainder of the stoppage time and out the match tomorrow. And that's tough to see in a game like this, to take a little foul like that. And
Especially
obviously,
so late in the game.
Yeah, the game's won, but
devastating, I'd imagine.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, coaching staff will have to figure out how to fill his role tomorrow, obviously. And I thought he's been a good player for us today, too. He's been really active. His work rate off the ball has been great.
He came on the pitch great.
And literally 10 seconds left, you pick up that second yellow. But once again, that's the moment of adversity that the Outlaws have to deal with heading into tomorrow. So, JD, your thoughts?
Alex, once again, just a great match here tonight. Absolutely. Wonderful start. You know, as I mentioned it before earlier, Lutz with those first two, I mean, shots on goal, it was so quick back-to-back, really showing the energy. And then just as soon as we got that second goal, really boosting the confidence, I would say, of the Outlaws, really changed the momentum of the entire game. And from there, I mean, the scoreboard speaks for itself, 5-0 here. Outlaws just absolutely taking the lead tonight. Great way to start the first home game for Siouxland. But, you know, we play tomorrow, 2 o'clock here.
Yes, tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So we'll have, obviously, a quick back-to-back. So very excited to see how the Outlaws respond to this. The only probably downers is just that late red card, second yellow for Yotaro, obviously. But a big game tomorrow versus Minnesota Blizzard, and it's exciting. Siouxland United comes home opener this year to put 5 past a team that's had a fast start to the year. Keep them out of the net is massive, and excited to see where the team goes from here. So once again, thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to everyone for joining us today. My name's Alex. JD, thanks for hopping on. And we will see you guys back here tomorrow afternoon. So take care. Have a good night. Go Outlaws.